Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Locke, with an E. I'm feeling all toasty warm and snug, and that's not true. That's a lie. That was limited stock. Now, I'll tell you what, we've just got some more of these back in. We were on the phone with our supplier because they sold out. The grey version sold out a couple of nights ago, and we've been working day and night to get some more. These are from DMD, that stands for demand, the company that exceeds your demands. And by the way, put in the blue box whatever you wish. Fantastic, amazing, superb, I don't know. Choose your own superlative. These are soft Sherpa fleece electric blankets. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, you've got a remote control, but guess what? You can unplug it and you can put this in the washing machine. Yes, these are machine washable up to 40 degrees, and you basically make sure they're dry again before you plug them back in. But once they are dry, you can plug them back in. They're 120 by 160 centimetres, 1.2 metres by 1.6 metres. You have 9 temperature settings and 9 timer settings. Now, the timer settings, every time you click it, each one is 20 minutes. So 2 times 9, 180 minutes. You can have this on for 3 hours. Obviously, I don't know about you, but yesterday I really started to notice the temperature. It was chilly yesterday, and last night it was extremely chilly. 3 degrees when we went home last night from here in London, in Covent Garden. So unfortunately, you know what this means. It means that winter is coming. And there ain't no way around it. But this, 7 pence a day, depending on your tariff, 7 pence an hour, depending on your tariff, to run one of these. They are beautifully soft. You've got the Sherpa on the other side. And it's just, they're 100% polyester, and they're so gorgeous, but especially designed so that the internal heating gubbins is fine, absolutely fine and safe to put in the washing machine. Obviously unplug it first. 1.4 kilos, 160 watt power, and that, as I say, that's an energy consumption of about 7 pence per hour, depending on your own personal tariff. £34.99, and you have a choice of either the grey, and I don't like the word brown. Brown to me has different connotations. It's chocolate. It's chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the remote, plugs into the mains. Really beautifully designed. These are so well made, and I think will save you a fortune on your heating bills. I use a mulberry silk blanket normally to keep warm in the winter, but you know, if you want to add a little bit of warmth, if you want to put this on your bed to heat up your bed, or even in your bed before you get into it, perfect to do that as a throw. Should we change it to fancy names? Charcoal and chocolate. Why not? But here's the remote control. So it's a little backlit LED. So there's 0. Once you've turned it on, you just repeatedly press the temperature, and that goes up to 9. In the instructions, by the way, and it'll cycle round again. That will tell you the specific temperatures, but 9 is the maximum, 45 degrees. And then if you want to put a timer on it, you don't have to. You can just leave it running. 1 is 20 minutes, 2 is 40 minutes, 3 is 60 minutes, 4 is 80 minutes, and so on, up to number 9, and that will turn it off after that particular interval. £34.99. They're so, again, they are so lovely. They're so soft. On the fleece side, it's just... Oh, I've just realised I'm sitting here fondling myself on national television. I do apologise. Sorry about that. And I'm getting a little bit hot under here, well, you know what I mean? Hello, hello. And then the fleece side, you just want to wrap up. My son has always talked about one of his greatest dreams is on a cold, you know, maybe rainy, miserable British weather day, because he was born in America. And so, I mean, he's lived here for 6 years, but still. So that's the perfect time to get all romantic with a new love interest. To snuggle up in front of the telly, watch a romantic movie, you know. But I tell you what, I was hearing the other day about, what's this whole thing that's going on with the heating and the government and stuff, right? No heating allowance for the elderly, I'm hearing. Look, I'm not going to get into politics. That's not my place. But also, it's still September. Who wants to put their central heating on? I got away with not putting my central heating on at all last year by using a blanket, and it wasn't a heated blanket. I mean, this, it just is, you can get it to just the right temperature for you. If you get one for you, maybe one for your partner if you have a partner, and you can both be the perfect temperature. Or you could share and be romantic if you don't mind being the same, regulated at the same temperature. Remember, it's an over blanket for your bed. It's not an electric blanket for the bed, as in like a mat under the mattress kind of thing, but it's something you can put over the top, definitely, and it will heat up, warm up. It'll warm up your bed before you get into it. I've got this on. Oh my! I tell you what, I just realised I've got this on 45 degrees, and suddenly it's like there's a party going on under here. Ooh, this is lovely. By the way, also on tonight's show, I was going to mention this right at the start and I completely got sidetracked. Sorry, apologies for that. We have, most of the show tonight is dedicated to, I think, the best kitchen gadget that has ever been invented, and that is Bamix. Now, Bamix is a Swiss company. It might look like a stick blender, and yes, it does do the job of a stick blender, but this is the original. This is before stick blenders were around. 70 years, I believe they're celebrating this year that they've been in business. This is a handheld, fully fledged food processor. This is the one you go to your Michelin star restaurants and things like that. That the chances are you sneak around the back and you know those big stainless steel vats they cook in commercial kitchens. If they're stirring soups and sauces and reductions and things like that, the chances are extremely good they're using one of these. And the Swiss line is the top of the range. You get the whole kit and caboodle, you get the stand, you actually get 4 blades. It normally comes with 3. There is an additional meat blade, which is the only sharp blade. That comes included in this package, and you get the small beaker and the large beaker, plus you get the grinder or the processor accessory, whichever way you care to look at it. Normally £199 for all of that, that's our price, but we have it for £169, and you can spread the cost interest-free over 3 months with PayPal Pay in 3 if you so wish to do. I've had one for years. It has a very long cord in it. The trick is to put it next to, I don't know, maybe your hob, midway between your hob and your sink, because you'll use it every day. You literally will use this every day. You want to beat some eggs for an omelette, you'll use this instead. You want to make a sauce or a dip, people come around unexpectedly, or maybe you've got some crackers and you've got some cheese and you've got a few bits and bobs of leftovers. I know, I'll whip something up with my Bamix. It's such a versatile machine, and that's coming up. We've got actually some really amazing demonstrations for you from our Warrington studio, but also tonight we have from DMD, we have this incredible starter pan set. If you know someone who's in student accommodation, someone who's maybe moving into their first home, maybe your pans have seen better days, then this set, I don't think you'll find a better quality set of pans for that price. If as a starter, I mean, that is a starter price, isn't it? $59.99. But these are top quality. They're riveted handles, split stainless steel handles as well, so that they stay cool. They have holes in the end if you want to hang them. You get also the tempered glass lids as well with the steam vents, and they're a very attractive pan set, but they're also just the non-stick on that. Try and stick something to it. I challenge you. And the sizes, they're all just the right sizes, the 2 saucepans, and the sizes are on the website if you want to check them all out. 717 777 is your item number for $59.99. 16, 18 and 20 centimetre your saucepans, and then you've got your 24 and your 28 centimetre frying pans. Non-stick coating, high quality recycled aluminium, and they are suitable for all hob types. They are also PFOA free, or as I like to call it, fluor. They're free of fluor. No fluor in there. The only thing you'll say fluor about is how good they look. They really are a handsome set. 5-year manufacturing guarantee. So you know this is the last set of pans you ever need to buy, at least for the next 5 years, because if anything goes wrong with them, they'll give you a new set, or they'll replace whatever is faulty. They're a great weight. They're not too heavy. They're not too light. This would make a wonderful wedding gift, or just general gift, Christmas gift, actually. You know, or if you know what, if you've got a big Christmas or whatever you're celebrating, if you do celebrate at this time of the year, closer to the end of the year, and you know you've got a lot of people coming round and you just like haven't got enough pans to cater for everybody, but you don't want to spend a fortune, get the quality and the benefits of expensive pans from this set, which will cost you just 60 quid. I mean, and they're almost disposable for that. You know, use them and then, don't throw them away after you've used them once. But you know what I'm saying? Even if they were a bit naff, you kind of go, well, there's 60 quid. I'll use them until they're no good anymore and I'll throw them away. I mean, 60 quid, that's 3 takeaways for me. But the thing is, they are that good. And so actually, for 60 quid, it's the throwaway price for something you're going to get at least 5 years of use out of. So what does that cost a year? Not a lot. Not a lot, just over a tenner a year. Upgrade your kitchen and simplify cleanup with they're dishwasher safe as well. They are modern, they're beautifully crafted, they're convenient, they're easy, they go straight from the stove top to the dishwasher. Well, presumably you'll eat the food at some point in between. And you can, oh look at that, elevate your cooking experience today. Right, these blankets, absolutely, look how happy this lady is. She's like, I've got myself 3 saucepans with lids and 2 frying pans for 60 quid. I've done all right there, I have. A bargain. I mean, I don't normally say bargain, but they are a bit of a bargain. That's what DMD are all about. We deal directly with DMD. They should be a lot more expensive. But we do the deals for you here at ShopOnTV. That's what we're all about. Quick reminder of the blankets before we have a look at our Bamix. Absolutely flying. Very, very busy. Charcoal's in the... Oh, look, we've changed them to fancy names now. These are back in stock. That's what the blue was supposed to say. They're back in stock from a couple of days ago. Again, we were out. I don't know how they did it. I think they diverted They begged, borrowed, and I don't think they stole, but I think there's probably another retailer out there that's going to be waiting a bit longer for their stock because we've got it instead. But that's the power we have. $64.50 normally, $13.31 on your PayPal Pay in 3 if you want to spread the cost. Honestly, do get these. Again, they're 160 by 120, 9 temperature settings, 9 timing settings, and you can detach and you can wash these in the machine. So no problems if they get dirty, plug it back in and they're ready to go again. Bish, bash, bosh, jobs are good 'un. But now let's go over to our correspondent in our Manchester studio. It's Warrington really. And it's Rob Locke with an E standing by with John Campbell and Bamix. Show us how, just one thing that's going to make me go, oh my gosh.
Well, there's loads of things where you're going to go, oh my God.
Okay.
You remember, it's 100% Swiss-made Bamix, made since 1954 in Metlin. Just want to draw your attention very quickly to the countertop. You will notice that the blades are enclosed between those 4 stainless steel prongs. The blades are countersunk, so they never touch the sides or the base of your containers, your pots, your pans, whether they're glass, plastic, metal or silicone. And what's more, Bamix works on a vortex. Now remember, as Rob said, this is the Swiss line, this is the top of the range model, double insulated on the inside, fully sealed on the outside. Bamix is often imitated, it's never ever duplicated. In my opinion, Bamix really is the best of the best, and this is the top of the range. Now watch the bottom of the Bamix when I turn it on. My hand's wet, please don't do this at home. This is just to illustrate the build quality. Remember, it's built to work, engineered to last. It sucks all the ingredients, all the liquid, in and down. What it doesn't do is blow it up and out. And I'm running on the high speed, Rob, 18,000 revolutions per minute. It's like a little twister.
18,000 revolutions per minute.
And this is why you can use your Bamix in your own baking bowl, pot, pan, Pyrex jug, jam jar, Tupperware dish. You're not restricted by a set size container or inhibited by a baking bowl. And please remember, it's the speed of Bamix that produces the results. And the blades, barring the complementary meat blade, are not sharp. They're shaped. Yeah. Remember, it's the speed. We've got 2 speeds. We've got 4 blades. Very, very quickly, and notice how quick and easy it is to interchange the attachments. This is the A blade. This will make the ingredient light and fluffy. Okay, so A stands for aerate. Yeah. So Rob, think of things that like scrambled eggs, soufflés, pavlovas and pancakes, Yorkshire puddings, the sky's the limit, a light delicate sauce, cappuccinos, frappuccinos. Again,
so it replaces machines that would normally be a unitasker and do all those things. Ice cream machine, frothing machine.
One machine with the footprint of a kettle does the lot. So it replaces liquidizer, blender, food processor, cappuccino machine, ice cream maker, smoothie maker, washable spice filling grinder, milk frother.
Milk,
but
exactly.
Look, I've now got a small plastic cup with about an inch of chilled water inside. Now, whether you're doing your breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, dessert or sweet treats, cocktails or Christmas ideas, Baymix is your trusted kitchen companion. Now, there's 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of coffee granules, plain coffee granules. Remember, I've got the A blade on now. But may I just show you this really quickly? I've got loads of demonstrations to show you. The blade's on a slight tilt. So as well as go around very, very quickly...
It's off-piste.
It oscillates.
Ah, right.
And that's the action that adds the air. Remember, beautifully balanced...
Isn't that how you... in sign language, isn't that how you applaud?
I think
Is that
so.
right?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not too sure. Yeah. But remember, beautifully balanced in your hand, under 1,000 grams in weight. No vibration in the hand, so there's no you don't get any fatigue in your fingers if you've got dexterity problems. Yeah. Whisper, quiet.
Look at that!
Now, look. This is on the low speed.
Water and coffee.
Water and coffee. Now, what this does, Rob, I like to do this. It's not a recipe. It's just a demo. And what this does essentially is lets all the viewers know of the speed, the build quality, how much air you can add into an ingredient. So again, whether it's something like egg white for meringues, that was the low speed. Look at my fingertips here, please. Remember, it's finger touch operation. My fingertips here, as soon as you release your finger from either speed, high or low, the blades stop to spin within around 2 to 3 seconds. Remember, Baymix is everything that a regular stick blender wants to be, and some. And have a look at this.
Look at that, it's amazing.
Again, I'll repeat myself, you can buy bigger machines than a Baymix. You can buy cheaper machines than a Baymix, but I believe wholeheartedly it's impossible to buy anything that's better, more versatile, of the same build quality, or anything as useful in the kitchen as a Baymix. And here is, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest selling feature with any food processor in the world, whether it's Kenwood Chef, Cuisinart, Magimix, KitchenAid, and they're all fabulous machines. I'm certainly not here to badmouth them, but I believe where Baymix wins, time and time again, doesn't just do the small jobs or the big jobs, it does the everyday jobs. But here's the best bit, 1.8 meters of curly cord, makes you very mobile around your kitchen, but the washing up. Because we know I've got 2 buckets of water down here, these are out of sight, one with warm soapy water, we rinse it 2 or 3 seconds, one with rinsing water. Remember, everything is 100% food grade safe, everything. And please remember, you may use your Baymix in any container or receptacle, glass, plastic, metal or silicone. Only the complementary blade, which is the meat and fish mincing blade, which is superb for fibrous vegetables, is the only sharp blade. The one I've got in my hand, it's all on board storage. I'll run through all the different dishes and demos in a moment. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Do you know, one of the big problems is that these have been, as you say, so often imitated. They've been copied. So the form factor, it looks like a stick blender. It's what you would consider to be a stick blender, right? But in actual fact, you know, this pretty much came, well, no, it did come first. So this is 18,000 revolutions per minute, a regular stick blender that you might get for 20, 30 quid, that is just, you know, for stirring soups and things like that and whatnot in your saucepan. They're about 1,000 to 2,000 revolutions per minute. What I want you to understand here and get is that if you took any desktop kitchen food processor, blender, smoothie maker, all those machines, those big machines that have the big bowls, all that we've done here, all that Baymix have done, is taken away the bowl or the jug or the receptacle. So now you've got all the gubbins essentially from inside, all the power in the palm of your hand. The rest of it, you've got jugs, you've got bowls, you've got saucepans, you've got receptacles that you can use this in, and it frees you up to do so much more in terms of size, in terms of volume. And I mean, actually, John, volume-wise, this will do how much?
15.
Yeah.
15 litres of liquid at any one time. Boiling hot liquid, ice cold. Remember, Baymix is used commercially as well as domestically all around the world.
So this is why, you know, in professional kitchens where they've got those massive stock pots, you know,
big
the
vats.
Huge big vat.
Absolutely.
This is one of the reasons they
100%. Because
this is great with big vessels.
It's the speed. It's the speed of Baymix that produces.
They probably use them on big vessels as well. I bet naval kitchens.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
And remember, this is the top of the range, the top of the line. This is the Swiss line. Okay. Just really, really quickly, what I'd love to show you is a machine that I've now got in my hand that is 42 years old.
42 years old.
It does say Baymix on the bottom. It is coming off there because of the age of the machine.
It's older than you, isn't it?
It's 3 years younger than me. I'm 45. I know I only look about 35.
I was going to say.
Anyway, but look, this still works. Now, if you look at the bottom, when I turn it on, it still works. It makes a bit of a squeak. Having said that, You know,
I mean, I make a bit of a squeak when I get out of bed in the morning.
The Swiss are synonymous with quality. Yeah. Right, let me take that A blade off.
Lifetime guarantee on the motor.
Absolutely. Now, this is significantly important because once upon a time, Bamix gave you a 10-year guarantee, which is phenomenal when you think about it, really. But now they give you a rock-solid lifetime motor guarantee. Remember, it's a 200-watt AC copper wound motor. The B blade, the blade with holes. Anything thick and creamy. Mayonnaise, mashing potatoes, emulsifying things, creaming soups, a hollandaise sauce or a bechamel sauce. This is that 400ml beaker you get included. It does come with a lid.
And what's in there?
This is like your regular mayo with a twist. It's got tomato puree.
No, you can't make mayo like that. You have to drizzle the oil in very slowly. Drip by drip, drop by drop. No one's got time for that. No. That's why we go to the local supermarket, watch the container, high speed. This is why a lot of people go to the supermarket and buy those pre-bought instant mayonnaise
condiments. So whether you're doing something like a garlic and herb mayonnaise, you're doing Caesar ranch, Italian or French dressing, where you're doing mint sauce, you're doing something like a garlic and herb mayonnaise. Rob, I do a beautiful one.
Yeah.
At Christmas
By the way, I'm handing this out to Charlie, our floor manager. She's our fourth pair of hands.
Look at the consistency.
Oh, amazing.
So you're in control of your food that you're feeding you and your family. So here's something that's well worth mentioning.
Yep.
Maybe you're vegan, vegetarian, maybe you're lactose intolerant. Customize the food to suit your dietary requirements or your taste buds. As an individual, less of this, more of the other. Have a play around in the kitchen. Don't throw food out. Here's the washing up.
Well,
remember...
Yeah, no A-numbers, no preservatives. Also,
no additives.
No vegetable oils. I know a lot of people now are very wary of vegetable oils. I am. And most mayonnaises are made out of... They've got rapeseed oil in them. I mean, but you can do this with an avocado oil, with an olive oil.
Absolutely.
You can go healthy all the way.
Now, it is a dream to clean. Remember, Bamix really is the ultimate, in my opinion, kitchen countertop workstation. Please remember, with a lifetime motor guarantee, it replaces liquidizer, blender, food processor, cappuccino machine, ice cream maker, smoothie maker, a washable spice mill and grinder. You may use it to do your mashed potatoes. You may use it to do your breakfast smoothie. You may use it with the grinder to do your herbs and spices. Maybe you're doing a homemade pate. Maybe you're doing a breakfast smoothie. There really are no limitations. And once again, to reiterate, whether you're using the Bamix, no right or wrong way, so I say Bamix, in glass,
the Swiss say
plastic,
Bamix,
metal or silicone containers, small or large, a baking bowl, a pot, a pan, a Pyrex jug, a jam jar, a Tupperware dish. We're not restricted by your own baking bowl.
Can't you do like croutons in a bag?
Yeah, so if you want to do like bread for breadcrumbs.
Oh, breadcrumbs, yeah.
In fact, we've got some fresh bread. I'm going to do that if time allows us to in a few moments' time. Right, so my plain flour, my milk and my eggs.
Okay, what's this going to be?
We're going to use our batter mix for our Yorkshire puddings. You can use packet batter mix if you wish, but I'm doing it the proper way. Now, the B blade once again. Remember, anything thick and creamy, okay? So what I do now, straight in on the low speed, no splashing and no spraying. Remember, it works on that vortex. Again, Bamix really is your trusted kitchen companion. Bamix have been manufacturing this world-famous machine since 1954. So that's 70 years. You can't service an industry worldwide commercially as well as domestically and sell inferior products. Now, I've said this time and time again. I am slightly biased, of course. There are other great machines out there, but I believe Bamix really is the very, very best. Again, to reiterate, they're built to work, they're engineered to last. You do your own research, and by the way, for your Yorkshire pudding mix, here's a good little tip. And there's loads and loads of hints, tips and ideas on Bamix's website. All the recipes, may I say, tell you what blade to use. So you're never second guessing. It's very simplistic, it's not overcomplicated. And then on YouTube, there literally are, well, there's loads and loads of video clips to give you inspiration and ideas. But again, if it's easy to operate, easy to assemble, easy to wash and clean, doesn't take up a great deal of space on your kitchen counter.
And can I just say, actually, this is worth having this next to your hob/oven.
Absolutely.
And sort of midway between there and the sink. Because then when it's out, you'll use it all the time. If you keep it in the box or you keep it in a cupboard, you'll forget to use it. But when it's out, trust me, you'll go, oh, I need to whisk something. Oh, I've got the Bamix. But anyway, in go the Yorkshire puds.
Yeah, and by the way, you know, in the mix, in the Yorkshire pudding mix, why not twist it up? Add some thyme, tarragon, rosemary, maybe something like mustard powder or mustard paste, a little bit of horseradish or anything of that nature, just to twist your Yorkshire pudding so they're not just regular Yorkshires. Look at them sizzle. Now, I've only used, incidentally there, Rob, the B blade. Now, what you could do if you wanted to, you always use the B for your Yorkshire puddings, always. But what you may do, once you've blitzed the plain flour, milk and eggs or your batter mix with the B blade, then take it out the bowl, wash it, rinse it, it takes seconds to clean, pop on the A blade, remember the blades are not sharp bar in the complementary blade, and then for about 10 seconds, you give it a quick zip with the A blade, and your Yorkshires will be massive, light, and ever so fluffy. And remember
that's the
as
way
well,
we like them.
That's the way most people like them.
By the way, can I just say that we didn't see it in the shop, but there's there's an oven over there. It's just one of those desktop ovens.
Yeah.
So look, one of those.
I turn this around.
One of those and a Bamix, and you know, student accommodation, bedsit, caravan. You know, if you've got a boat or something like that, you can have all of your creature comforts from home, make all the meals that you would normally make, just with those, you know, those two devices alone. I've got some cold milk here for you, John.
And I want the hot milk.
And you want the, oh, I say.
Because what we're going to do
He's
now,
not choosy, is he?
we're going to do
or fussy rather.
bit of a diva, though.
No, that's the one. That's
right.
the one. Yeah.
So we're going to do 3-in-1 drinks. Now, do remember, you do get the jug, 1 litre. It comes with the lid as well, so you can serve, seal, and store your food. And inside that jug, a bit like Russian dolls, you've also got that. We call it the mayo beaker, but you can use it for anything: sauces, soups, custards,
and
gravies.
they're freezer safe and dishwasher safe.
Microwave, and freezer safe.
Marvellous.
I would personally recommend, however, you would wash them by hand. Right.
Okay.
Chocolate drops. Okay. Hot milk here. I'm going to melt the chocolate drops in there like so. So I'm going to put all the milk inside that container. Remember, you're not restricted by using your own sort of set size containers. You know,
you
like
do a massive jug if you want to. I mean, in this, when the weather gets hot, or you know, depending on what the weather is now, you could have a big old jug and you could crush ice in it, and then you could.
Important, you can crush ice dry without adding liquid, which is almost impossible to do with any other food processor. And please remember, this is a handheld food processor. You know, that is fabulous. Now, this is the A blade. We're going to go into that that skimmed milk. Now, this is fully skimmed.
So this is cold skimmed milk.
Cold skimmed milk. You know, it's like white water skim milk. Now, truth be known, when I'm at home, I use semi-skimmed and full cream for my tea, coffee, and cereal. But to do what I'm doing here, the milk must be very chilled. And fully skimmed, because there's no fat content. Now, if I stop about here, if I had a flavour like strawberry, raspberry, banana, chocolate or vanilla, you've got like a thick shape. That
or a dollop of syrup.
Yeah, but if I turn it onto the high speed, this will now turn that skimmed milk, which is really chilled, to a similar consistency. Not the same, but similar to cream. But real cream's 37% fat, okay? Now, I'm just going to tap this gently in my hand. Remember,
look at that.
Remember, double insulated on the inside, fully sealed on the outside, so this can be immersed fully into your receptacles, whether it is, again, a baking bowl or a pot or a pan, a Pyrex jug or a jam jar.
Run it under the tap as well.
Or under the tap. Now, what you may do, if I just draw your attention to my fingertips, you may also pulse the machine. So remember, if you want chunky soup, if you want to chop something but you don't want to obliterate it, you can also pulse the machine. Remember as well, you've got 1.8 metres of curly cord. So take what Rob said on board, please do, and that's place your bay mix between the stove top and the sink. That way you take it off the stand, use it in your own container, small or large, glass, plastic, metal, and then you take it to the hot tap, you simply rinse it. And by the way, barring the beaker and the jug, please remember, everything fits on that small stand. It's got
can I say, who cleans a food processor in the amount of time that you just did?
Nobody.
I mean, first of all, you've got to lick the bowl, obviously. But then after that, you've got, I mean, even if you can put them in the dishwasher, you've got the blades, you've got the bowl, you've got the lid, you've got all these components. I remember, because I was always the one that had to clean the food processor after we'd used it to make a cake or something. Pain in the derriere, not with this. Oh, look, it's a cappuccino.
No, this is a hot chocolate.
It's a hot chocolate. Oh, sorry, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Now, we're going to go one stage further.
Honestly.
I've got to tell you,
it's a frappuccino.
Wait till I do the pasta sauce.
Oh my God.
Wait till I do the mashed potatoes. There's a little bit of marshmallow on the top, okay, with little love hearts on there, like so. Now, 3-in-1 drink. So here we go.
That costs you $5 that would in a shop.
Very possibly, very possibly.
Could anyway.
So, we've got a little bit of whiskey in there, so drink responsibly. This is for the adults, not for the little kids. So I pop a little bit of coffee in there with that whiskey. Now, normally...
What does that classify me as?
Normally, when you go to that restaurant, Rob, and you buy an Irish whiskey or a Gaelic coffee or something of that nature, the waiter will come and they will pour the cream, the heavy cream, over the back of a spoon so it doesn't sink. Well, Bay-Mix makes the skimmed milk so light, fluffy, and so decadent, it just sits on the top like a mini Guinness. But I haven't yet finished. Let me just take the remaining coffee. Where have I put? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So here's my jug of coffee. Here's my little bit of milk, whether it's cup to cup, mug to mug, or jug to jug. We're mixing the two. We've done a beautiful, luxurious
It's a latte.
hot chocolate. We've got a Irish coffee or a Gaelic coffee. And now we've got a luxurious latte. And again, Rob's just mentioned it. You know, you'll pay, you know, depending where you go, but you pay £3 or £4 for a large latte.
Mine's nearly £6 actually, because I have an extra shot.
If you have the speciality ones with the syrups in, they cost you more money. Right, what we're going to do now,
There's a
Rob,
very famous coffee shop in America we used to call $5. Because
yes,
everything was conveniently $5 or more.
absolutely, right.
That is amazing. Look
So-
at those little coffees.
And there's that
You
beautiful...
could have your fancy coffee afternoons or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about... I might need to try the Irish coffee just to make sure it's, you know, it's all correctly mixed.
Well,
don't
if you want to, you can do.
I think I should. I should test.
You're not
I'll
driving,
take one
so
for
you're
the
all
team.
right.
I will
There we
take
go.
one for the team.
It's not very, very hot, but,
No,
you know,
that's fine.
There we go, Rob.
But look at this. It's one of my favourites at Christmas time.
So now, Rob, we're going to do the Sea Blade.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So the
Sea
Sea
Blade.
Blade is the most versatile blade.
Before
okay?
you do that, can I just... I've got
Go
to do
for
what
it.
we call in the business a call to action. Buy it. Good. OK, carry on.
So just remember...
No. Sorry, let me do it properly.
Just
Buy it now. Carry on.
spread the cost
With PayPal.
Yeah. Buy a Bay-Mix because nobody honestly regrets investing.
Oh, that's so good.
Average lifespan's 25 to 30 years. Please remember a lifetime motor guarantee. Very, very quickly, I'm wetting the machine. Remember, it's a 200 watt AC copper wound motor, okay? The Swiss are synonymous with quality, okay? So whatever the Swiss make, generally speaking, tends to be the best of the best. Here is that vortex. And no splashing and spraying. Again, we're not inhibited by a baking bowl or a set size container.
John, I think you did something wrong. This evaporated.
Very quickly. It's very warm in this studio.
It is
under
very
the
warm
lights.
in the studio,
Remember,
yeah.
1.8
Charlie,
metres of curly
sorry, I don't know
cord.
what happened.
We're going to do the sorbet. We're going to do the ice cream. And we are going to show you that amazing spice milling grinder in a moment's time.
Yes.
Okay?
Caster sugar, icing
which sits
sugar.
neatly in the back of the stand. But if I just very, very quickly lift that little flap up there, all your blades sit nice and neatly. Remember, that's the sharp one, so might you want to store that separately. Fit nice and comfortable in the back. So it's all on board storage. Now, we've got the Sea Blade on. Remember, the blade doesn't touch the base of your pots and pans. Now, what I will say, if you have a non-stick pan at home, please don't drag it across the bottom.
No.
Because there are 4 prongs on the base of the unit. But
And
you don't need
drag
to.
it across the counter,
Let's go
otherwise
straight into
the
that.
studio owner will kill us.
That
Do you
little
want
bit
to
of soup.
swap
Let's do a
places?
do-si-do, okay?
Do-si-do. Can I say, please, check out your baskets. Just because you put it in your basket, it doesn't reserve an item for you. You have to check out and pay for it. No, we never managed to get, you know, hundreds or thousands of, maybe hundreds, but not thousands. We never have a massive stock of these. And so please do make sure you check out as quickly as you can to make sure you secure yours, or you might go to order it and find that it's sold out. Amazing wedding gift, of course, you know, when that time of year comes around.
Absolutely.
Or
Somebody
if
that's
it
going to
has come
university
around.
or
Any
Christmas
time of year,
gift.
really.
So you can see all the ingredients there. I've got butternut squash, I've got mooli, I've got sweet potato, I've got carrot, I've got broccoli, I've got cauliflower.
Mooli?
Mooli.
What's mooli?
White radish.
Oh.
Now, I'm pulsing here on the low speed.
Yes, I'm quite enjoying myself as well.
12, it's just the way I'm stood. 12,000 revolutions per minute. Remember, it's the speed of Bay-Mix that produces the results. Now, if I just blitz it for a second, as remember, you can make your soup chunky, or you can make it as fine or as smooth as you wish. Maybe you've got dentures. Maybe you've got, like, you know, an injury in your mouth, and you need to liquidize the food. Maybe you've got braces. Baby food. You know, 19 years ago.
Look at that!
You can see that the machine drawing everything in.
Light work of it.
Absolutely. But 19 years ago, Rob, that's what we got our Bay-Mix for Phoebe, my daughter, for baby food. So we didn't have to buy.
No preservatives, you know what you're feeding your baby.
Absolutely. And again, the nice thing is, Bay-Mix really, hand on heart, has you covered. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, dessert, sweet treats. Let me just quickly rinse this, because I want to do the sorbet.
Do you want us, are we swapping around again?
I'm just going to decant
no worries.
this into...
Okay, do-si-do.
This is nice and chunky, nice and thick. Okay, remember, you can thin the soup out should you want to. So...
Look at that soup.
I'm going to just pour this out.
Oh, it's just amazing.
Beautiful.
You could have a stew and think, you know what, I fancy some soup today.
Hearty.
You can just this is a liquidizer. Oh, amazing.
Right, now,
Amazing.
the sorbet.
Yes.
Right, if I just show the viewers at home this very, very quickly, inside this jug, remember, use your Bay Mix in your own Pyrex jug, your own receptacle. It could be glass, plastic, metal, silicone. Again, there are no restrictions. As long as that cutter guard, the head of the Bay Mix, fits into your container, you're in business. Now, what I'm going to do is add some cold water.
Yep.
You may add something like icing sugar or caster sugar,
Yep.
a little bit of honey, maybe some vanilla extract just to sweeten up because obviously the berries are quite tart.
Yeah.
Now, gents, I'm going to pick on you for a moment. This is all the gentlemen viewers that are watching at home today.
Yep.
Without being rude, this doesn't say down the side of the machine Black & Decker, Bosch, DeWalt, or anything of that nature. It's not a power tool, it's a food processor that fits in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
So in other words, don't have to pile drive it. Let the speed of Bay Mix do the hard work for you. We've got the C blade on, remember, the most versatile blade.
Yep.
And now we're going to go straight into that jug on the high speed. We don't need to use brute strength or force. Remember, you can do your cappuccinos, you can do your garam masala, you can do your bread for breadcrumbs, biscuit for biscuit base, homemade pate, pesto sauce, mash your spuds, Yorkshire puddings. I don't know if the camera can get a shot of this, because I can't see very well at the moment.
Yorkshires. Have a look
But
at
the Yorkshire's inside the oven in a moment. I don't know.
Wow.
They're rising like a block of flats. So about another 15 minutes, maybe 20 a push, then you've got beautiful, fluffy, not heavy or doughy Yorkshire puds that, your favourite aunt, Bessie, will be absolutely envious of. And here is one of the most important features with any food processor, the washing up. It really is so simple and easy to clean.
Yeah.
Footprint of the kettle.
But I love the fact that things that you would normally buy in a packet, you don't need to buy in a packet anymore. You can actually make them fresh.
Yeah.
So you know what the ingredients are. You know what you're putting into your mouth, into your stomach, and into the mouths and stomachs of your loved ones. It's so versatile. You can do anything that you can think of, food processing wise, just with the Bamix. Here's some more information. We'll see you in a minute.
Bamix, the kitchen robot. Select the correct attachment for the particular recipe. The whisk is used to whip and froth cream, egg whites, and skimmed milk. The best results are achieved in a high, narrow beaker. The whisk replaces the wire whisk. Bring the Bamix into contact with the base of the beaker, switch to level 1, allow to run for a few seconds. Hold at an angle and raise slowly up the side of the beaker. Repeat until the cream has become firmly whipped. The whisk can be used to froth soups and sauces directly in the pan. Hold the Bamix at an angle and draw through the soup until it becomes frothy. Correctly used, egg white quickly becomes firmly whipped. Add sugar to the whipped egg whites, mix slowly at level 1, and the meringue mix is ready. Thanks to the strength of the Bamix, ice-cold skimmed milk can be frothed in an instant.
Hi. I was awake really because I was on telly. It was really weird. It was very meta. I'm sitting here on telly watching me on telly. It was very strange. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? By the way, we had a really lovely email from Thomas. who wants to give a shout out to his late grandfather, who used to sell. He was a Bamix or Baymix, or actually the Swiss say Bamix. He was a Bamix salesman, a legendary salesman apparently for many, many years, and that was Ron Jessup. So in honour and memory of Ron Jessup, thank you, sir. And obviously a man who understands and knows quality when he sees it, especially to make it his vocation to sell them, because these, honestly, these are superb. I've got one, my producer's got one, my director's got one. Everyone I know in our company has one. They are an extension to your arm. They are really, they're a food processor. They're all the workings of a food processor. The only difference is that they've taken away the jug, the bowl, the receptacle, because you can use that in any jug or bowl or receptacle of any size up to, 15 litres. 15 litres of liquid that will move. So great big catering size vats of soup and stuff like that. They're used in commercial kitchens all around the world. That's what they were designed for. So you get all of that gubbins, the 2 beakers, the 400ml beaker. There's also a litre jug, and you get the bonus blade, all for £169. Now these blankets are going absolutely bonkers. But before we do that, before I go back to it, I think I'm going to tell you about the cheese mill, even though the graphics have just come on for the blanket. Sorry, I confused. I had it the right way around in my head, but clearly I was wrong. You know what this is, right? It's a naked Dalek. No? It does look like other things as well. What's inside? Shall I show you? Oh, look at this. Now this is actually a cheese mill. This is your plunger, right? Then you have your inner section, which has your blades. See that little pin there? You can take that off and you can change the blades. So you can go from a coarse blade to a fine blade. Coarse blade for sort of medium hard or medium soft to hard cheeses, like your cheddars and your red Leicesters and things like that. Parmesan, and for your harder cheeses, and all for your harder things like biscuits and nuts and sweeties, because you can grind all of those in this as well. Use the fine blade for, and then it all goes in the dishwasher. There's even an airtight cap, and you'll notice that in the bottom of the airtight cap, when you get yours, that's where the spare blade will be stored. And then inside there are two partitions, or there's one partition for which there are 2 sides. And you pop whatever you're going to grind in, and then you marry up the plunger with the partition and you twist. It's really as simple as that. Here it is in action. Here is Rob. Not me, Rob, although I was there demonstrating it. You just literally operate it like you would, what's that stuff called? Salt and a pepper grinder. 20 quid this is. Now bear in mind also that you can, because of the airtight lid, if you've got perishables like, for example, Parmesan, and you don't use all of it, which is unlikely, what you can do is you can actually put the airtight lid on and put the whole thing in the fridge. So you can have one in the fridge, you could have one that's got things that aren't perishable in it. If you get a couple, I think every household should have at least one, but you know, if you can afford one, get an extra. And if that's all you're buying tonight, then of course, if you do buy 2, then it's a minimum of £30 to use PayPal Pay in 3, so that makes you eligible. Here we've got some Num-Nums and some Oreo cookies. Could be anything you like. Could be digestives, could be bourbon, could be rich tea, I don't know, custard creams. And you can grate toppings for your ice creams and your sundaes, or any day of the week. Or for the top of a cheesecake. Nuts even. And believe it or not, I didn't realise that one of the things that a lot of people in this country love to do is to grate an egg. And this is no, really, I'm an absolute sucker for egg salad, or egg mayonnaise as we call it here. Egg salad's a bit American, sorry. But if you're egg salad, if you're gonna make, especially like me, I don't live on my own. I have a housemate. It's my son. He's about to throw his shoe at me. Stop it. We're working. Come on now. Oh, I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, yeah. Oh, because that's right. Yes, and I've made often big vats of egg mayonnaise, and then it goes off before I've had a chance to eat it all. So with that, you can literally just make egg mayo for one. You can do, if you grind your digestives, you can make bases for your cheesecakes. I mean, basically, grate whatever you like. Now that's breadcrumbs, and you can do it with fresh bread. And all you have to do is a little trick is you use one cream cracker with your fresh bread, and the cream cracker dries out the bread, and then that gives you breadcrumbs. So which you could coat your burgers in or something. I always remember my mum used to make coated burgers. Lovely. £20. Now also bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, capped postage and packing. The first £4.95 is always capped. So some items, if they're big and bulky, they may carry an extra £1 or £2 or something. It's always on the website. But the first £4.95 is always capped. So you could buy 100 of those and you'd still only pay one £4.95 P&P charge per order. Now back to the blankets. These are absolutely flying out the door. So we've changed the names from grey and brown to, I think it's much better. We now have charcoal and chocolat. They're 120 that way by 160 long, so they are absolutely perfect for covering your knees and or covering your legs and whatnot. Now here's the thing. There are the measurements. They're only 1.4 kilos, and they're a heated blanket. And they only cost you about 7p an hour, and that's obviously dependent on your tariff. 100% polyester, 160 watts max. They actually go up to a temperature of 45 degrees. So you can get pretty warm under one of these if you want. You can wrap yourself in it, you can warm yourself in it. They are completely safe. And here is the extraordinary part. They're machine washable up to 40 degrees, regular detergent, regular, I don't know if you would use fabric softener. With fleece you don't normally do that. I wouldn't bother because it clogs the fibres, but you know, it's not like you're drying yourself off. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can or you can't. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter. But they are super duper soft. They really are. 9 options, so 9 temperature settings, up to 45 degrees. So basically 5-degree increments. A maximum auto off timer of 3 hours. So there are 9. I'll show you in a sec. There are 9 settings on the remote control. And each is 20 minutes. So if you go up to 9, then you've got 180 minutes, which is your 3 hours. And you can see it says they're 20-minute increments that it increases the timer level. So if you can keep it on completely, you don't have to set a timer, but if you just leave it running. But if you know that once you sort of fall asleep, maybe you get a bit too warm, you could have it on for an hour, a couple of hours or something, and then it just switches off. You can use it in bed. It's not a heated blanket in the bed sense, traditional bed sense, in that it's not covering the bed. You can use it on top of your bed, most certainly. I don't think you'd use it in your bed, or you could actually dispense with your duvet altogether and just use this. I mean, it's entirely up to you what you do. But great if you're sitting down on those cold winter nights. I managed to go a whole, literally, because it's so expensive where I don't have gas, so I have 2 electricity bills, and it's so expensive to turn the heating on. And I went the whole of the last winter without turning it on at all, just by using a blanket. And it's localised warming, isn't it? 7p an hour versus whatever it would cost you to run the central heating. And you're heating all the rest of the house or the flat, and you're not even in it. So I think this makes much more sense. But I tell you what, apart from anything else, if this was Philo-Vision, like Buddha, you could come and rub my belly. And you can either have, if you want, you could have the velvet side against your skin, or you could have the Sherpa. Oh, that's great. That's good for the cameras. Now, Carol would like to know if it's okay to have her fur baby wrapped up with it. Is that a pet? Is that she referring to a pet? So, here's what I would say. Number one, they are not specifically designed for pets. But then, if you bought a non-heated Sherpa blanket, neither would that be. I would suggest, because it has a cord, and this is at your own discretion, there's nothing dangerous about these. They're not, they're not going to overheat, or, I mean, I don't understand the temperature of pets. It does have a heating element inside of it, as you can see. So I think as long as you're sat there with them, and maybe they would sit on it rather than wrap them in it. The only thing I would say, and this is true of children as well, is the cord. So if you've got children who are too young and you think they might get tangled up in the cord, keep them away from it. But also, look, the other thing is when it's not warm enough, not cold enough to turn the warmth on, it doesn't matter. You can take the power off like that, and now you've just got a really high quality plush on one side and Sherpa plush fleece and the slightly sort of more knobbly, is that the right word? A knobbly Sherpa on the other side. That sounds wrong. Bobbly, not knobbly. Look, I'd say, Carol, it's a judgment call. There's certainly nothing unsafe, or there's certainly nothing that's potentially dangerous for your pet, unless they would overheat. If it's a pet if it's dangerous for them to get too hot, I'd say keep them away from it. And the cord. Would be my two considerations. I think. I'd have to say, obviously, full disclosure, it's not designed for pets, so I leave that for you to decide. Make your own sort of educated decision, so to speak. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, aside from the fact that these are toasty warm anyway, they're not too much. Now, I'm sitting under hot studio lights. The air conditioning has not ever worked here, I don't think, in the studio. And I'm sitting, and I am not overheating because they are breathable. And so, this is the charcoal, by the way. But let me show you the chocolate as well. Oh, do you want me to bring the chocolate in? The reason I haven't is because my water bottle's over there. I'm just going to plug that one back in. So here is, just to give you I might get a bit too hot with both of them. But here is, maybe you want to, actually the colours do coordinate quite nicely if you want to get one of each. That's entirely up to you. Depends on your decor as well. But bear in mind, the most important part about this, they are specifically designed and they have been tried and tested to be completely and utterly safe to machine wash. So up to 40 degrees, bit of detergent, whether it's a liquid, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a powder, entirely up to you. What you're not going to do is tumble dry, because there is a heating element inside, and you don't want the tumble dry to mess with that. So I would line dry, put it over a clothes horse, that kind of thing if you want to. But frankly, it's fleece and Sherpa, and these dry. My fleece jacket, by the time I've spun dry it in the washing machine and take it out, it's almost dry. I hang it over the clothes horse for about 10 minutes dry. So just make sure, obviously, before you plug it back in, that it is completely dry, all right? But normal wash cycle, 40 degrees, that plugs back in, and here's your remote control. It's dead simple to use. Everything about this is just really good quality. Again, DMD stands for demand. It's a new company we work with exclusively, and their whole goal is to exceed your demands, and so their products are they're here on ITV on the ShopOnTV shopping show. If they weren't of the highest quality, and we test them and check them and make absolutely sure, and we demand the best. We DMD the best. And these are definitely recommendable to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here recommending them to you. So please check out your basket. So you've got to be quick. Hundreds of you are shopping for everything tonight. But the charcoal is the most popular colour. It sold out the other night, the charcoal, and it could do very well the same tonight. The chocolate's also very popular. I don't want to make it feel like the sort of the runt of the litter. It's just, for some reason, I think people like the silver. I would buy the silver, I'll be honest with you, but that's because I'm all glass and brass, in my apartment. It's all stainless steel and white. Can I show you the Mimo? So here's the Mimo. It's got 3 buttons on it. Even Rob Lock with an E can use this. It's so easy. So in the middle there is a power button. Ooh, power. Wow, that camera stopped with a thud, didn't it? That's how you turn it on. It's very simple. Then you've got 2 other buttons. To change the temperature, you just press and keep pressing, and it will go up to 5-degree increments, taking you up to 45 degrees. Super easy to do, nice big readout. And then if you want to change the time, again, 20-minute increments all the way up to 9, which gives you a total of 3 hours. Once it's set, it will flash, and then it will stop flashing, and that means that's now set. So after 3 hours, this will completely switch off. And the other thing you could also do, you could heat it up to maximum if you wanted to, and then you could theoretically unplug it if you wanted to then take it to bed and not have to to worry about the cord and whatnot. Either way, it's just brilliant. LED indicator display, $34.99. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant for now. For now, as the weather is cooler and colder and only going to get worse. Right, now, we're going to go back to part 2 of BAMX shortly, but because we had the pans are so popular, we had a lot of people requesting, can we see some more information about the DMD Vita pan, or the pan set. Remember I told you DMD stands for demand, to exceed your demands. I would recommend the elderly mums or people like myself or young kids, anyone, any age, the blankets, people starting a new home, people going off to university, people who have got a rubbishy old pan set but don't want to spend a lot of money or can't necessarily afford to spend a lot of money and want a high quality pan set. This is high quality. It's the champagne lifestyle for beer money, ladies and gentlemen. Here we're going to go to, was this Rob Lock with an E again? I believe it. No, it's Paul Brodell and moi, I believe, showing you how great these pans are.
Now, let me quickly run through. They've got this wonderful encapsulated base, so they're really nice and strong. You've got wonderful 2-layer non-stick. Most are just sprayed. This is 2-layer non-stick.
Nice.
You've got wonderful, wonderful riveted handles as well, which they won't undone, they won't unscrew.
Very professional.
And then you've got this very clever stainless steel handle. It's even encapsulated at the end. The work in polishing that is incredible.
This lovely little
and
sort of
literally,
striping.
they're very good then at obviously not conducting the heat when they're on the stove. Obviously, they will get hot in the oven.
Yeah, of course.
But they go in the oven to 180 degrees.
Right.
In the pan, I've got a wonderful pineapple lobster cake. We've got cheesy bread in the
in our
oven
amazing
there.
DMD oven. Check the website. That's available as well. That's amazing. Hot
It
plates
really
on top as
is
well.
incredible. Earlier on, I cooked our frittata.
Frittata.
In the oven. So I fried up our onions, then put it all in the oven, in the same pan. Obviously, it has cooled down now, but just to literally show you how the quality of the non-stick is just fantastic there. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. Now, earlier on as well,
I requested
just to
this.
show you, I did actually our red onion tartane, if you can see that fits perfectly there, our red onion tartane, and in the little pan, we did our pineapple upside down cake earlier, and I've got some to show you live in a second.
I've just got one thing I want to say to you, Paul.
Yeah.
Pwah.
Well, do you know what?
That means PFOA, and these are free for. They have no PFOA in them. Apparently, that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
no,
really
they ain't
good.
got no four.
Now, I want to show you the capabilities of how good they actually are, because they are fantastic pans. They really are, and I want to show you how good the non-stick is. Now, normally something like cheese can really stick.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Earlier on, when I was showing all the crew everything, I was cutting the slice of bread, and then we were making like instant cheese on toast with it. So I'll So
you did that bread in one of these.
So they are your oven dish, your pie dish, your casserole dish, your caked in, all in one. Now you imagine cheese trying to stick.
It just
nothing
came right off.
sticks whatsoever. I'll just throw that in our hidden bin there. Now what could be like pancakes again?
Love it. I haven't had a pancake for years.
Now I did some pancakes earlier, and you can just see how, you know, we burnt cheese on here trying to get it to stick on. Now doing something like a pancake. Earlier on I did our bacon in there. I've actually got rice on the go here.
I see.
You see the steam, and I'm boiling it dry. The worst scenario, I'm going to let that boil dry and then show you a bit later how it just comes out almost like a cake where it has not stuck. This is how confident
now, presumably
I am in the non-stick.
you don't even need to put these in the dishwasher. You can just literally wipe them clean, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Now you can see they're trying to get it on. This is a really hot pan.
You know what that is? That's a load of crepe.
That is a load of
That's a load of crepe.
Look at that, look. Can you see how the more I move it round, the cleaner, all the little straggly bits at the side just comes away. That's how confident I am with this. I'll just pop that one there.
Sam, do we have the maple syrup?
And you can see that's glowing hot. We've really got a lot of heat here.
They're really attractive as well.
I'm going to make it even worse now. Imagine burning milk dry. Now, what could be worse than burning milk?
Spilled milk? But there's no point crying over it.
No, there isn't. And well, now while this one's on the go, I'm just going to do a very quick omelette, actually.
Oh yeah,
a cheesy omelette. So I'll pop some.
I was going to eat some of that frittata actually, but I don't want to spoil the display. It looks really.
And I'm just going to pop our cheesy omelette there,
Oh, yeah.
like so.
Now, show me how to make an omelette properly as a chef.
You know what,
'cause
it's
I
just-
can never do it.
Well, do you know what? The most important thing is you've got a good pan. And I'll
Yeah.
just show you. Can you see
Oh,
the
look.
burnt milk? Now,
Very
you're
much.
at home, the phone goes, someone knocks at the door, disaster, isn't it? But not
Oh,
with these
my
wonderful pans.
gosh.
It just comes away clean every single time. That is the beauty of what you're getting here. Now, can I show you the quickest cheese sauce?
Can you? Of
to
course
go
you
over?
can.
Right.
I did your cheese sauce the other day, and I poured it over some cauliflower. It was very good.
Lovely. It's the quickest. So all we've got in here...
Double cream and some cheese, basically.
Double cream and some cheese. If you've got a bit of sweet chilli, that's good too.
Oh.
So look at this, look. Just mix that round.
And also,
Like
I know
so.
you know you've got that hob cranked up to high. So this is gas, it's halogen, it's electric,
Yeah,
ceramic, all that kind of stuff.
that's it, yeah.
And it
really
doesn't matter.
is.
You can really put these pans through their paces. You can punish them. And I mean, 60 quid essentially,
Oh, it's
bar a penny.
incredible,
For
isn't
5
it?
pans. I mean, even I can do that maths. You know, it's...
Yeah.
Actually, can I? It's about £12 a pan. 5 12s are 60. Yeah, 5 12s are 6. No, that's not even counting the lids and the lid holders.
Now I'm just putting a bit of sweet chilli in this.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the quickest cheese sauce that you've ever in it. And as it's for our nachos,
Can I have that
I'm going to
pancake?
add, yeah, I'm just going to add some of our chopped onion in there too, because it's going to go over our nachos, like so. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Now, so I'm just going to put it over our nachos. Look at that, look. Now, can you imagine, is that the quickest cheese sauce you've ever done?
Cheesy nachos.
But I'm going to do the worst scenario now, because imagine you've then put it on top of the hob and you've forgotten.
Yeah.
Okay, just like I have
Maybe the
forgotten.
EastEnders has come on, or the...
Yeah,
you know.
I've forgotten our omelette. But
Oh, yeah.
how beautiful is that? Yet it didn't stick.
No,
Yeah, I forgot about
But
it.
it also cooked in the middle. I can never get my omelettes to cook in the middle and before I flip them. You're not supposed to.
Look
You're not
at that,
supposed
look.
to. I didn't know that.
So that's our wonderful omelette there. Like so. Can you see how you can cook up
Yeah.
a storm in no time at all?
You've got the right tool for the job, then
Yeah.
your job's a good one.
But do you know what? We're going to go from cooking an omelette in there to a steak.
Oh.
So look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our steak in there. I'm burning our cheese on here just to show you that, look at that, look. Your scrubbing days are over.
Rubbing days are
Look,
over.
and this is just one of the set. Look at that, look. It's
No
just
way, man.
not sticking at all. Look at that, look. You imagine if this was, you know, a lesser quality pan, you'd be in loads of trouble here, but not with this one whatsoever. So you've got riveted handles, you've got that amazing encapsulated stainless steel handle.
That was the wash up. Damp cloth, bish bash bosh. Thank you very
There,
much.
thank you,
Good
done,
night.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to turn over our steak here.
Yeah, and no oil. I noticed if you don't want to cook
Not a
oil, you don't have to.
smidgen of oil, but caramelisation is always flavour. And you've got
Yes.
that wonderful flavour there. I'm going to add some of our pre-cooked onions
Oil.
with that, because I'm going to do a bit of a sauce in a minute with this. Like so. So you see the versatility. So we've done omelette, we've done pancakes,
Yeah.
we've done our cheese there, we've done our
Frittata.
frittata. Have you tried the cheese on the nachos as
I
well?
have. Oh, may I?
Oh, eggy bread, sorry.
Oh, I love it. Or French toasters, I think is the posh name
There
for
you
it.
go.
Let me try. I can see if I can get my fingers on one here.
Now wait until you try that, and I made that in seconds, and it did not stick in the pan, did it?
It's so good. The chili sauce makes all the difference.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. So
Nom,
now,
nom, nom.
look, well, I've just put some eggy bread in there, and you think, oh my goodness, that is going to stick without any oil
Yeah.
or French toast. Look at that, look. How good is that? You ready to turn
Yeah.
it over? Look at that. Nothing
Hello.
stuck whatsoever. And I'm literally, we've got our bacon on the go
Bit
here.
of bacon.
Because we're going to go all American in a minute. We've got our maple syrup.
Oh, you do have some bacon. I just take that pancake without it. Oh.
Look at our wonderful fillet steak.
Yeah.
How good is that? I've got
If
some
we're
butter
going
somewhere.
American, we have to call it a filet.
Filet.
Yeah. Which actually is correct, technically, because it is French.
Now, again, I'm adding the sauce, the butter for the sauce. but you've seen that we could have done that steak dry. Can you see that caramelisation? I always think showing a steak really shows the men from the boys, because
Well, you know what,
you need to get it hot.
A good cooking show is like a good TV drama. It's all about the steaks.
Exactly. Right, high stakes.
Yeah.
Now,
that's when they get arrested for illicit substances.
I'm going to need some more double cream in a minute too.
Yep.
There you go.
Can I just, Paul, would you have expected to be able to cook all these sorts of dishes and put these pans through the sorts of paces that you are, for a price like that? That to me is a budget.
It's incredible, isn't
price.
it? Yeah.
Someone
it
for
really
their first
is,
home, their first flat.
So
spare set for the caravan or something.
We've got our eggy bread.
Eggy bread.
Nothing, if you look at the pan, nothing has stuck whatsoever. So it is just fantastic. Look at that.
Clean as a whistle.
A whistle. So that one's done.
Yeah.
Then I've got some of our
DMD collection is amazing. Please do check
bacon
out
to go
ShopOnTV
with it.
and see all the other stuff.
And I'm going to ask you.
We've got waffle maker, pizza maker.
Look at our wonderful
ovens.
bacon.
These ovens are available.
And then there you go. You can pour some of the maple syrup on the top.
On the top of the on top of the bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, this really is an American thing, isn't it? Oh yeah. I love a bit of maple syrup. How's that? Lovely.
Brilliant. So I'm just going to grab the double cream now. Like so.
Yeah. Okay.
You. And there we have made our steak in our wonderful pepper sauce. I've added loads of pepper to that.
Yeah,
to make it really nice and creamy. So you can see how, as much as I've put it through the paces, you can also make some really delicious meal.
Well, at the end of the day, you want your pans to work for you, not against you, don't you?
Yeah, you certainly do. And these really do the quality. When I was speaking to Jonathan, the supplier, and it really went through the paces with the non-stick.
Yeah,
So important. And you
it's
can
one of
see
the best
because
non-sticks I've seen.
Such good quality.
And again, PFOA free.
Exactly.
It's a double coating, so it's not something that's going to
we've got our
chip off.
Medium rare steak there, and I'm just going to put our wonderful pepper sauce on that.
Lovely.
Now, wonderful, absolutely brilliant. Just fantastic, isn't it? So
that nacho sauce was so good. I'm going to have another one of those, sorry.
It is so good, isn't it? Now, I want to show you some of the bits in the oven. We'll slice that in a sec. I'll just let it rest. I'll turn the stove down slightly.
Yep.
Because I want to show you what we've got in the oven.
Okay.
So we've got so much. I've
got a bun in the oven.
Well, I've got a cake in the oven. I've got a couple of things actually. I've got our bread that we can sip in that pepper sauce in a minute, and I've got our cake.
Oh yeah. Have you made another bread? He has. Oh, this is the cake. He's done another upside down cake.
There you go. Well,
we won't be having to buy dinner tonight, that's for sure.
Look at this. So I did a pineapple one earlier.
Yeah, oh, this is something.
And this is...
Oh!
Look at that, look. Peach and cherry. Now, look at that, look.
They are amazing. By the way, those DMD ovens with the two what do you call it, hob plates on top, they are coming into stock in November. So we will do a whole show from Warrington. Hopefully we'll even go live from Warrington. We're setting all that up at the moment. And so those are upcoming. 717 777, the item number 59.99. Best 60 quid you'll spend for £5. If you're in the market for some pans, again, top quality for low price. That's what it's all about. All right, we're going to go back to part 2 of Bamix, throwing to Rob Lock with an E, and the wonderful John Campbell, and the best hand food processor, I think, that money can buy. John Campbell's still here, still demoing away. Yep. We've seen prawn cocktail, we've seen fancy drinks, we've seen Yorkshire puddings, which the Yorkshire puddings are still, look at this. They are still massive. Baking away.
Rascals, they are.
Soup, we've got mashed potatoes still to come. We haven't even shown you yet how the grinder works. This is the Bamix complete food processing system. It's not just a stick blender. It can do what a stick blender does, but a billion times more. And all of this, a complete set with 4 blades, with the grinder, or the processor as we call it, with a jug and the beaker, and with lids, all for £169. And remember, you can spread the cost on PayPal Pay in 3. Make sure you check out, though, because these shows are always so busy, and these things sell out. We don't have oodles and oodles of stock. So check out now either on the phone 03333 241 241 or online at shopontv.co.uk, where you'll also find about another 700,000 products you might be interested in. John Campbell, what are we doing now?
Right, so remember, Bay-Mix is your food processor. In the palm of your hand, and you take your food processor directly to your food, not the other way around. So we flip food preparation on its head. I want to draw your attention real quick, and this is the reason why we can use it in any container or receptacle, to the counter. Look, the blades are enclosed between the 4 prongs. All of the blades, there are 4. Remember, you get the complementary meat and fish mincing blade, which is really sharp, the only sharp blade. The counter sunks, and they never touch the base or the sides of containers. By the way, around about a few minutes ago, I did the sorbet. I'm just going to set that aside using the blade I have on the bottom of the Bay-Mix now. This is the C blade. Remember, C stands for chop, cut, and crush.
Aerate for the A blade, beat for the B blades, and chop for the C blade.
For that blade there. Yeah. Remember, it's not sharp, it's shaped. Ultimately, it's the speed of Bay-Mix that produces the results. Now, I'm going to pop that blade down there and leave those 3 little blades next to one another. Remember, these 3 here are not sharp. Not one of them, okay? Swiss stainless steel, everything is impervious to acid, oil, and citrus juice, hence the reason why it's used commercially. Now, please, disconnect the machine from the mains. Make sure your hands are dry when you assemble, when you attach this blade here.
Yeah.
This is
seriously sharp.
Yeah,
this is
razor sharp. This is the meat and fish mincing blade, but also superb, Rob, for very fatty meats or fibrous vegetables, so like game meat, or leek, celery, fennel, root ginger and spinach, anything very fibrous. Now, in a container, remember glass, plastic, metal, silicone, it makes no difference what container you're working in. There? Smoked salmon, fillets, just roughly sort of chopped up, soft cream cheese, a little bit of seasoning, some dill and some chive. Now I'm on the low speed here, dips, desserts, appetizers, main meals, light meals. If you're on a specialised diet, remember, you could be vegan, vegetarian or lactose intolerant. There's the timer, by the way, the timer on the oven. So that's suggesting that they're now done. Right? And remember this as well. Remember, please do remember, you're in control of what you're feeding you and your family. So potentially, you're going to save a small fortune, I can't promise you, on buying ready prepared, pre-packed and processed foods. Yeah. Not only that, you are now
salmon dip.
eliminating using several different kitchen appliances.
And remember, totally, if you're on the keto diet or something, that is totally conducive to that. Yeah. But also, you know, people come around, guests, and it's like, we've got the chips or the crisps or the crackers.
You're not American now,
I know, I forgot, sorry. And it's like, I used to live in America, apparently. And it's like, have you got any dip for that? Oh, no. But then you've got, I've got some leftover salmon. I've got some Philadelphia in the fridge. Now you've got a dip. Or if you need mayonnaise, you can make mayonnaise.
In seconds.
Yes.
Literally for pennies and not pounds, depending obviously on the type of the quality of ingredients that you buy. Now remember, this is the sharp blade. I'm going to use this in more detail a little bit later. I'm going to get the Yorkshire puddings out in just a moment's time, but just before I do want to decant very quickly some of this smoked salmon dip. You could be doing a beetroot feta dip for your summer barbecue. Remember, whether you're doing something like sweet treats, barbecue meals, baking in your own baking bowls, maybe you're doing an all-in-one Victoria sponge cake. Place all the ingredients into your baking bowl. Yeah, because you could do cake, like you know, normally people buy food processors to do cake mixes. You just do that in the bowl. You measure all the ingredients into a bowl, and boom, you whisk around with the Bay-Mix, and you're ready to go. Do you like salmon? Yeah, can I try some? I was going to say, so I've got a little bit of salt in there. I've got a little bit of lemon juice. So if I just pop that here for you. The crackers are nice and fresh. Nice. Dill. We've got soft cream cheese, and we also have some chives and a little bit of rock salt. And that, I've got to tell you... Again, consumer journalism here, obviously, at its best. Here we go. If you do like your spreads and your dips, that's amazing, that is. It's lovely, isn't it? No, it's terrible. And I'm not a chef, but here's the good news. I'm going to do with Rob for 1 second. You don't need to have great culinary skills. It's all about minimal effort, maximum outcome. You know, whether you're a baking beginner or a gourmet chef, whether you're doing a single serving or maybe a family feast, Bay-Mix really is your trusted kitchen companion that you will have for many years to come. Do remember, please, significantly important, a rock solid from Switzerland, lifetime... I've got to pass you those. Oh, well, I've got to work for my money. Next time. A lifetime motor guarantee. Now, what we're going to do here, really quick, please remember that everything goes on the back of the stand. nice and neat
Which
and
is
tidy.
included.
Barring the beaker and the jug. So it's got a very, very small footprint. Now, this is important. I call this a grinder. A lot of people will. Spice mill, processor. That's what the Swiss call it, processor. This blade's not sharp, but it does have an edge, okay? You don't use any of the 4, regular would be the wrong word, but the 4 normal blades, because the blade's inside the grinder, okay? It's a bit rude to call these regular. So remember, A for aerate, A for aerate,
They'll
light
keep
and
you
fluffy.
regular, but
Yeah, light and fluffy. B for blend, thick and creamy. Anything you want to emulsify or make thick and creamy. That's the C blade. That's the one we did the sorbet and soup with, the multi-purpose blade. And that's the only sharp blade right here in my hand now. That's the meat and fish mincing blade. Please pay due care and attention to that. So you get those 4. Now, very quickly, I would personally recommend you wash the grinder by hand. 2 little clips at the bottom. Push them apart. It disconnects the base from the bowl. This is odor-proof and stain-proof, but I wouldn't recommend you leave anything, something like turmeric inside there for too long. Right, now, one of the hardest spices in the world.
Is that nutmeg? Is it nutmeg?
Absolutely, yeah. We do live shows and exhibitions, as you know. One gentleman said several months ago now, it was actually last year, he says, he's come to my stand, he says, why have you got acorns on your stand? It's a whole grenadine nutmeg. I'm going to pop one of those inside the grinder, okay? In fact, what we're going to do,
The blades aren't. What we're going to do? We're going to get the Yorkshires out.
No,
no,
we're going to get the Yorkshires out. The Yorkshires are done.
He's going off piste.
Going off piste, you know me. Right, so if we can get a real close-up of this, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
But soft bread.
Yeah.
Not stale bread.
Yeah.
Not toast. This is fresh. This was
soft
bought
bread.
this morning, okay? So
What are you making?
If you're doing bread, for breadcrumbs, for a chicken or a fish
This
dish,
is madness with fresh
homemade
bread.
stuffing or anything of that nature,
Yeah.
just roughly tear up the bread like so. Remember, there's no motor inside this processor
The
or
Bamix
grinder.
becomes the motor.
Absolutely. Bamix is your motor. That's why this is fully washable. And because it's odor-proof and stain-proof, imagine the scenario. Imagine you're doing something like stir-fry, Vietnamese food, Thai dishes. You're using ingredients like onions, chilies, ginger,
Look
garlic.
at that. Now, you could toast the bread first if you wanted.
you could do, but it's not necessary.
It's just to prove the point, really.
But what I'm trying to get to out here, Rob, imagine you're doing something really pungent inside there.
Yeah.
If it was a regular grinder, it'd have a motor inside.
Yeah.
So you can only wipe it clean. You can't immerse it in water because you damage the motor. Of
course.
Well, imagine the next morning. Do me a favour, Rob.
Yeah.
Grab that big jar of coffee beans.
Big jar
Imagine
of
you're
coffee
doing
beans.
chilies, ginger, garlic in here. You can only wipe it clean. The next morning, you want to do fresh coffee beans into a coffee
Amazing.
powder.
See, this is why it's sensible. You take the motor away from the bowls, because everyone's got the bowls and receptacles.
Absolutely.
And then you make it waterproof, and then you can take it to whatever food you need to
Right,
process.
so here we go.
Come in.
It's as tough as old boots. So I'm going to use the same grinder.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've got loads of demos to show
Normally you have to break your or grate your fingernails off, don't
now,
you? With
I'm going to ask the viewers to do me a little favour. When you're using your grinder with your Bamix, okay, any small quantities inside the grinder, small amounts, just shake the mill gently. You don't need to be aggressive. So it could be a few peppercorns for a peppercorn sauce.
Okay.
High speed, 18,000 revolutions per minute. The Swiss are synonymous with quality. Just shake the grinder a wee bit. So it could be something like cloves, a little bit of star anise. You might be doing something like the nutmeg, like I'm doing for your rice pudding, your porridge, custard, spinach, roast parsnips, eggnog at Christmas time. And what I will say is this, if you're doing chocolate inside here, for maybe ice cream, cappuccino or cheesecake, please remember you have the facility to pulse. So you can get shavings of chocolate.
so you buy a bar of dairy milk or something,
Yeah.
and it goes, and now you've got ground chocolate.
I don't think you can see this.
Is that custard?
But if I tilt this up very, very slowly...
We've got an overhead camera.
Oh, of course we have. I keep forgetting. So the custard, right, beautiful. You can smell this over the top of that rice pudding or that custard. Okay, it's absolutely beautiful. And remember, you can use the grinder, the processor, both wet and dry. So you could do your guacamole in here, your homemade pate, pesto sauce, hummus. Right, let's get the orchards out.
Let me show everybody. Look, this is. Here's our overhead camera, so you can see. Look,
I'm going to do the ice cream now.
It's a little bit out of focus because I'm holding it above where it's focused, but it gives you get the idea. Right.
Oh, beautiful.
Sorry, what's next? Where are we?
Right, so let's get the orchards out.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so obviously always pay due care and attention when you're taking anything from the oven. So what I did, plain flour, milk and eggs into my own Pyrex dish. Again, it could be silicone, it could be glass, plastic, metal. I would recommend personally, this is up to you, but I would recommend
Hang on,
rapeseed
John, let me
oil.
put a cloth down for you.
It's actually, it's not hot
it's not
now.
too bad. Oh,
I'm
okay, fine.
tapping it.
Never mind.
It's warm, but it's not hot. But I'll tell you what we'll do, just because we're in
we
a
used
really
the
nice
slate for the
fancy
bread, didn't we?
studio,
Yeah.
we don't want to damage anything.
No.
So I'm going to pop that on
You
there.
break it, you buy it, John, all right?
Absolutely, that's right, Rob. And the oven's off as well now.
Look
now,
at that.
imagine you're doing toad in the hole, the Sunday roast, just sausages and mash, and you want some. I mean,
Oh, that's food porn, that is.
They're still hot. You can probably see
Can
the
I
steam
just try
coming
just to make sure?
out. Which one would you like? Because I'm not going to touch it. Because
Oh, all right.
Well, I'll let you. My hands are clean. Like.
I like them slightly on the sort of the stodgier side. Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
well, that's up to you.
Oh, come here, you.
Give it
yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah? Careful, it might be a bit hot.
I like it.
Do you know why we feed Rob?
What?
We feed him to keep him quiet for 2 minutes because you can't get a word in edgeways. God bless him. All right, he's doing his job. Right, let me just move these now very quickly. And we're going from Yorkshire puddings to ice cream. Okay? So ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Okay?
Oh my God.
Do me a
This is
favour,
good.
Rob.
What?
Just pass me the raspberries, frozen raspberries.
Raspberries.
Now, a good little tip to all the viewers. Anything like strawberries, anything
this is
like
so good.
banana, anything that's very dense, when you've frozen it solid in your freezer, take it from the freezer, let it thaw out for a good 10 minutes.
This is the perfect Yorkshire pudding,
right.
by the way.
Now, ice
Perfect.
cream, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 parts frozen fruit, 1 part milk, yogurt, custard, or cream. I'm now taking the A blade. Remember, A adds air. It makes an ingredient ever so light and fluffy. The nice thing is, we're not restricted by a set size container like you are with the conventional food processor. We're not inhibited by a baking bowl. Baymix is your food processor. You take it to your food. Remember, this is the speed of Baymix, lifetime motor guarantee, still made in the very same factory in Mettlin, in Switzerland, since the very first day it was manufactured. So, you know, Baymix is not advertised as being made in Switzerland, yet made elsewhere around the world. This is 100% Swiss made. And actually, just whilst I'm zipping this milk up very quickly, Baymix goes through a very thorough 10-minute test, every machine, on performance, rotation, and on thermal heating. Now, if I want this to taste of real cream, to trick your taste buds into thinking it was real cream, you'd add a few drops of vanilla essence, a level teaspoon of something like stevia or Splenda or sugar or any other sugar substitute. That would give you the taste of cream. You certainly have the texture. What you haven't got are the calories of cream, because real cream's 37% fat. This is skim milk, red top, ice code.
Yeah.
This is 99.9% fat-free. So great to go on the top of your apple pie, pumpkin pie, strawberry tart or fruit salad. What I will say, the studio lights here are very, very hot. So this is not quite as chilled as I'd like it to be. What you would do at home, you'd take the milk from the fridge, ice cold, or even, if your fridge is not that cold, pop the milk in the freezer for 20 minutes or so. The colder the milk is, the better. The thicker and the stiffer it'll become.
Yeah.
Take the A blade off. Remember, the blades are not sharp, so it's safe and simple to interchange the blades. It's only the meat blade that's sharp. Every single recipe on Baymix's website tells you which blade to use or which combination of blades, so you're not second guessing. Video
That's
clips.
just Baymix.com.
Yes, BaymixUK.com. Or if you want the Swiss, it's Baymix.com. And if you subscribe, you get all the recipes, the updated recipes sent to you. Remember,
for free.
footprint of a kettle, under 1,000 grams in weight, whisper quiet. I'm going to put my very sensitive microphone so it doesn't vibrate, doesn't make a great big racket.
What about the warranty again?
Lifetime motor guarantee.
So
and you know
anything
as well
goes
as
wrong
I
with it
do,
for lifetime,
the
you're
viewers,
covered.
absolutely, the viewers know that when you go to that very well-known, and it's a really good store, electrical superstore on the retail park, you buy a product, and then when you get to the till and you check out, they offer you an extended warranty quite frequently.
Yeah.
And you pay for that extended warranty, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Well, Baymix don't charge you for that extended guarantee. That's the confidence. Do
they have
remember,
in the
the machine
machine,
I now have in my hand, 1982.
Well, and people who own these and have bought these, I know people who've had theirs 20, 30 years and they're still going strong. One of our directors,
What I'm not going to do here,
his parents have got one that's 30 years old.
I'm on the low speed.
Okay.
Yeah? I'm going to go into the high speed. I'm going to go into this vat of
It's
water.
very quiet, but not on the phone lines and on the website, because this is an amazing product.
Remember,
do check out as soon as you can to get yours.
The drive
You'll thank
shaft
the
of
day.
Bay Mix, sorry Rob,
It's all right.
the drive shaft of Bay Mix has never changed in 70 years. This year they're celebrating their 70th birthday.
Yes.
And again, whether you're a gourmet chef, whether you're a baking beginner, whether you're doing a single serving or a family feast, Bay Mix is your
Still
trusted kitchen companion.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pop this
While
down
you're
here.
down there, another Yorkshire pudding wouldn't go amiss.
Okay.
Can I just say...
oh, excuse me, one
Can I
second.
just say that you get so much with this... Oh, thank you, mate.
Look at that size. That is
They are-
massive.
honestly, I
Look
love
at the size
Yorkshire
of that.
puddings.
Huge.
That is pub quality, that is.
Yeah, I mean,
Now it's going to go in my belly.
yeah.
Get in my belly.
In my belly.
But
Right.
look at everything you get. You get the stand, you get the Bay Mix itself, of course. You also get a beaker, which is 400ml with lid. You get a jug, which is a litre with lid. And you get the processor. There are 4 blades, 3 of them are the standard ones, but we give you an additional bonus meat blade. Keep it between your sink and your oven or your prep area. You'll use it all the time for everything. It is the food processor that you don't have to take out once every 8 months and dust off just to make a cake. You can do this for so much more than a regular bowl
so many, Rob,
would work.
so many applications Bay Mix will allow you to open the kitchen doors into your kitchen, and it really elevates the flavour of the food. Really, really quickly, that's your set there. There's your jug, your beaker's inside your jug. There's the stand.
You know Cookie Monster?
Yes,
I'm Yorkshire Monster.
or the Yorkshire Monster. There's that grinder, okay, that goes in the back of the stand. Very quickly, I've got the C blade on. The most used blade, any Bay Mix owner will tell you, that's a funny looking blade, like the star-shaped blade. It's called the processing blade. So cooked meat, not raw meat. Remember, use the sharp blade for raw meat and fish. Cooked meat, you use the C blade that I've now got on the bottom of the Bay Mix. Ice cream, 2 parts frozen fruit, 1 part milk, yogurt, custard or cream. Smoothies, sorbets, anything viscous, larger quantities, liquidizing soup, making the ingredients for bread, cake, pastry, cookie dough, okay? Never ever, please, and this is to the viewers that are watching at home, and I say this with the greatest of respect, because I can fully appreciate, because I get this all the time at the exhibitions and shows, people look at Bay Mix, quite rightly, and go, it's just a stick blender. Now, don't get me wrong, it's brilliant for blending all your baking requirements and baby food. But Bay Mix truly is the #1, the original handheld food processor. Now, there are, and I'm not bad-mouthing or knocking anything else, I'm really not, but there are lots of pretender blenders. Bay Mix really is the cream of the crop, la creme de la creme, the best of the best. And if you want to by the way, this is for the adults, not for the children. This is just one thing I failed to place inside there, my apologies, was a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah.
You can place inside there a little bit of honey, a little bit of sugar. You know, again, customize it to suit your own taste buds, dietary requirements, so forth and so on. You're in control. Keep your Bay Mix on the counter. It really is a kitchen countertop workstation.
Yep.
And what I was about to say then was, I don't know, I forgot. But what we'll do,
Excellent.
we'll take this ice cream.
Well said.
We'll pop it in the side.
Yep.
Into this little vase here. That's what I was going to say. You have one machine that will replace, that has the footprint of a kettle, liquidizer, blender, food processor, cappuccino machine, ice cream maker, smoothie maker, and a washable spice mill and grinder.
That was skim milk and
That
some
was
frozen
skim
fruit.
milk and raspberries. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The naughty ice cream. So I lost my train of thought
Oh,
there,
yeah,
Rob.
yeah.
Right, so this is just for the adults at home. If you like bananas, frozen bananas, let them thaw for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Frozen bananas, 2 or 3 big glugs of Bailey's liqueur or any alternative Irish liqueur, and then a handful of Maltesers. Don't crush them up, just pop them straight in as they are. Use the C blade. Beautiful. Banana and Bailey's
Well, I was
ice
gonna
cream.
say, this is your
Right,
cocktail
let
maker
me
as
pop
well,
this,
isn't it?
Absolutely. Cocktails, mocktails.
Yeah.
Again, everything is 100% food grade safe. Now, Rob, we are
Yep.
now going to do mashed potatoes.
But what's
So-
that? It's all covered in mud. Oh, it's a potato. Do you remember that from the ads?
I'm
No?
not old enough.
No, honestly, that was an ad. That was the voiceover for an ad.
The B-blade. So whether you're doing Colcannon, regular mashed potatoes, sweet potato mash, carrot and swede, the B-blade, the emulsifier, creamy, thick consistency. The B-blade. Right, now what I've got to do, do-si-do, but what I'm going to do very quickly, just to show all the viewers, because we've got our pole cam on, which is like, oh, sorry, Rob,
That's all right.
overhead camera. You don't need the muscles of Popeye to mash. Okay? You don't need the muscles of Popeye. Now, what I'm going to do here is take this pan of potatoes. That's got the water inside.
Yeah.
I'm going to strain the water in my colander down here. Now,
You've got everything under the table. If you could see under here, it's like a mad scientist's workshop.
Well, I'm a bit mad.
That is true. That is
Oh,
true.
my glasses have steamed up. 1 minute. Can you see them? That's quite funny, isn't it? Let me take these off just for a second or two so I can see what I'm doing. Rob, if you may.
Yes.
Actually, no. Let's move that nutmeg.
Right.
Pop that there.
Yeah.
Right. Parmesan cheese in my hand.
Yes.
Right, so you can see the Parmesan, yeah?
Yeah.
So it stinks, but if you like Parmesan, this is fabulous. Buy cheese on the block, grate it yourself, as opposed to pre-grated or pre-shaved, and you will save an absolute fortune.
Yeah, those little packets of grated Parmesan, my son buys them actually.
Let's take that blade off.
They're
Remember,
really
the blade's
expensive.
inside the grinder, okay? So
They're not as good, I don't find.
we've done the bread for breadcrumbs. We didn't do the
Yeah.
coffee beans, to excuse me. Here's the Parmesan.
Yeah.
Granulated sugar to icing sugar.
Which we'll show you later.
About 30 seconds. Peanuts to peanut butter. About 1 to 1.5 minutes because the oil is inside the peanut, okay?
In fact, by popular demand, we might even end up having to extend the show.
Right.
I've heard from the producer, we're going to extend the show by another 30 minutes because there's just so much to show you.
You might want to put a bit of garlic paste inside
a bit
there.
of garlic mashed potatoes.
Oh, beautiful. Now, here's a little bit of creme fraiche. Not ordinarily. Most people
Wait now.
would use a knob of butter, a little bit of cream. I'm just mixing up a little bit just to give you, hopefully, a little bit of inspiration, some ideas. So let's put
I always wanted to make an anime, like a cartoon about butter, because I wanted to call the hero Nobby.
Your jokes, they need some...
No, that's not a joke, that's true.
Nobby.
Nobby the butter.
Nobby the butter.
Yeah. That'd be my children's book.
Remember, you do get the jug, you do get the beaker, but you may use your own Pyrex jugs, jam jars, Tupperware dishes. Whether the material is glass, plastic, metal or silicone, it doesn't matter. That's your food processor, under 1,000 grams in weight, beautifully balanced, whisper quiet, lifetime motor guarantee.
But into a non-stick pan, though.
The B-blade, right. So, 2 things here. Number 1, we ask you, when you're using your bay mix with any blade, in a non-stick pot or pan, don't drag the machine across the bottom, because there are 4 stainless steel prongs there.
Yes.
But you don't need to. Remember, it works in that vortex.
Yes.
The blades are countersunk.
Unless
so
you've
when
got
you
teeth
look at this,
phalangenio, in which case it doesn't matter because you can't scratch that stuff.
they're very
for a lot of
resistant
money.
to cuts and abrasions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to swiggle that around a wee bit. On the low speed here, all I'm going to do is just very gently dance it on the top, just to break through that top layer a few times, okay? Just a few times like so.
By the way,
low
I
speed.
shall be eating all of this.
By the way, Rob, can I just tell you,
Yeah.
right? And again, I said this once, I say it a million times.
Look.
Bay mix is everything, and I really mean this now. I know a lot of people will be watching the show today and thinking, it's a bit OTT, that statement. He's just saying it from a sales point of view. But bay mix is everything that a regular stick blender wants to be, and some.
Or every stick blender on the market is,
Every single
is
one.
a copy of the Bay Mix
One,
shape.
and I can't
But they don't
say
have the
that.
motor in it.
Right.
Now, how can you make creamy mashed potatoes like that without elbow grease? You can't. Everyone knows it. If you eat a lot of mashed potatoes, it's worth having a Bay Mix just for that.
Look, Rob, baby food, brilliant.
Can you just pass me that?
Yeah, I'm going to do that now.
Oh, no.
You're going to give it a quick rinse?
You don't need this, do you?
Why would we need that?
Well, can I just say that here's what you do when you've got this utensil. Basically, you do this.
And do you know what most people will do with that?
Sorry, that was a bad throw, Charlie. Apologies.
Most people
No, I threw it at the floor. I didn't throw it at Charlie.
that have
She was really trying to catch it, but I thought, no, I'm not going to risk it. You can have an eye out with one of those.
most people that have at home currently a blender or a liquidizer or a food processor of some type, if it's in the cupboard, and let's face it, that's where most of them generally are.
Usually, yeah.
Right?
I bought one, spent 250 quid, it's been in the cupboard, I've never used it.
You wouldn't
But I've
take
used
your
my
food
Banix.
processor, you wouldn't probably take it out the cupboard, plug it in, use it for your mash spuds, okay, and then put it back. Why? Because of the aggravation, the washing around, the faffing around.
Is this plate free?
With a bay mix, pardon?
Is this plate free?
Yeah, you can do. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a fresh spoon.
Okay.
Do you want the big one or the small spoon?
I'll have the small one, please.
Small one.
I'll just eat it out of the pan.
Just do it out of that.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to try it. I mean, these are seriously
Creamy.
light and creamy and fluffy.
The hot, to be careful.
Well, indeed.
Sweet potato mash, called cannon.
Oh!
Bamix, the kitchen robot. The beater can be used to prepare mayonnaise with or without egg, creamy sauces, as well as cake icing. For mayonnaise, attach the beater. Run the Bamix for a few seconds, hold at an angle and raise slowly. Your mayonnaise is ready. For light mayonnaise, coffee cream is used instead of eggs. For salty quiches or sweet flans, combine the ingredients to produce a creamy mix. Homemade mashed potatoes? Use the switched off beater to mash hot potatoes. Switch on the beater and mix the ingredients to get fluffy mashed potatoes.
Oh, I'm so hungry now. I can't wait to get. I've got some food in the fridge, thankfully. My advice: get yourself a Bamix. I've got one. Everyone I know's got one. Everyone I love, they've either got one or I've got one for. They are brilliant, and that Swiss line is the absolute top of the range. It really is. But it's such a useful device. In fact, actually, my son just said, "Can I use your Bamix?" And I'm, yeah, of course you can. He's a keen. Would we say chef or cook? He's a cook. He's not quite at chef level yet. I tell you what, he makes some tasty dishes, but he does it all, prepares it all manually. One of the things I can't stand is the preparation, and I just don't have time for it in my life. I don't have the bandwidth, you know. And this is where the Bamix just makes everything just so quick and so easy and parfait. Anyway, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, Kieran is watching. Kieran from Brighton. Hello there. Apparently, he loved the ham and cheese toasty that Paul made in the pan set we showed earlier. Those are great, Kieran, those pans, if you are thinking about them. They really are. Listen, you can tell from the size of me, I'm not a stranger to food. I always say the two things: never trust a skinny chef. And when it comes to good food, you can always trust my gut. And Bamix, 100% recommendation, definitely. If you can't quite afford the Bamix, there's also the Berghoff, which is a little bit more affordable. Is it as good? Close. And if you're getting ready to go to sleep and you want to be nice and warm and you've got no one like me, no one to snuggle up with, if you're all alone. But seriously, actually, if you do have elderly parents or grandparents or friends or loved ones, this is a must-have for them, I would say. I think it will save you a fortune on. You won't have to put your heating on, maybe even at all. I don't know. 7 pence an hour, depending on your tariff. This costs to run. Charcoal or chocolat are your colours. There's the chocolate over there. You've got your fleece on one side, your Sherpa on the other, and machine washable and remote controlled. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow at about 1:10 past 1. Bye.